Well, hello everyone in the next episode of this very fine Hungarian project. I know the last episode wasn't very interesting, because not a lot happened, but I hope that this time it will be different. So, today I'm going to talk about four things. One thing is March 15, the celebration of the Hungarian Revolution. Second is a sort of travel guide to Hungary. It will be a new series in the series, where I talk about nice places you should go if you travel to Hungary. Third is Australian news, because luckily I've got a letter from Australia and I like to just read it to you. Four, it will be a 5-minute Hungarian, but actually it won't be 5 minutes, but a little bit more, because a new series has started at this very moment when we solve exercises during the sessions. So, tune on for these things. Every year, on March 15, Hungarians commemorate the revolution and freedom fight which happened in 1848. We didn't actually win, but, that doesn't really stop us celebrating it. This revolution was against Habsburgian rule, against the Austrian Empire. Now, I do not want to talk about the revolution itself, actually, only a little bit, because I will talk about this in our history sessions. So, about that, that's enough. Instead, let's just watch there a couple of nice images from that era, or an image which is about the era. First of all, this is an image containing two different things beside the actual year number. First thing is that red and white and green stuff. We call it in Hungarian kokárda. This is the sign of the revolution, or insignia. Maybe I can do that, or I can say that, but I'm not sure about that. So, and the second one is a cannon, which is not a very famous cannon, it's just a cannon from that era. Second image. Second image is about a very famous poet who lived in that era and actually was a hero during the freedom fight. He is called Petőfi Sándor. If you want to learn about him, or you want to learn or just hear poems from him, I can happily do that if there is actually a demand. So just tell me and I will read some of his work. He wrote in Hungarian, so I thought I should mention that. Third image is just a general battle scene, with guns and stuff. I think it's quite of self-explanatory. Now, the fourth and final image is a declaration of 12 points which we wanted. They used this very image for flyers and for posters, advertising the actual revolution, because it started as a peaceful revolution against the ruling class, but later on it became a freedom fight. Okay, and I thought I would share a nice map with you about the actual era. So this was the Austrian Empire. You can see Pest over there in the middle-ish area. So Hungary was a sort of autonomic country. There it was like a very advanced European Union, but we didn't like it. Well, actually, to be honest, I said this and I just remembered we don't really like the European Union right now. So I believe we're not a union country. But more on that later. Last thing I want to talk about is the 13 people, high officers in the Hungarian army, who were executed after everything was finished and we lost. As a practice, I would like to just read their names, and this order, although it's numbered, this is not a fame order or anything like that, it's just an order made by me. So, Knézic Károly, Nagy Sándor József, Damjanics János, Aulich Lajos, Láner György, Poltenberg Ernő, Leningen-Welszteburg Károly, Török Ignác, Vécsei Károly, Kis Ernő, Schweider József, Dezsőfi Arisztid, Lázár Vilmos. These were the high officers who were executed in Arad, which is a nice village, a city. So I believe it is time to move on. If you have a plan traveling to Hungary, there are a couple of things you should know about the country. And this is what this series will be about. Where you should go and what you should see and what you should be, well, afraid of. But there isn't really much to be afraid of in Hungary, but you should mind a couple of things. Let's start with cities you should go, where you should go. Now, obviously we start with Budapest. I mean, that is the capital city of Hungary. It consists of a couple of districts. Every district has its name, like in London or in New York, but people usually refer them by numbers because no one really remembers the names. If you want to know that, you probably can see on my webpage that I live in Kistarcsa, which is over there. I marked it for you in the upper right corner. It's very close to Budapest, so it allows me to go to Budapest every day, but I shouldn't. I don't have to pay as much tax as if you wanted to live in Budapest. It has very nice museums and stuff, and you probably can know many things about that if you just type Budapest in Google. Next one is Debrecen. Debrecen is one of the cities. It's actually the second largest city, and it's on the east side of Hungary, in the eastern part. Now, it's not a very rich city, but if you want to see how people lived during the socialist era, you probably should go there. Because in the eastern part of Hungary, things evolve a little bit with a little bit less speed. So actually it's a very nice post-communist city. Alright, next one is Szeged. Now, Szeged also remembers a certain era, but this is not the communist era actually. This is things before the communist era. So you can see a lot of classicistic and Baroque buildings there. And it has a petting zoo. I like going there actually, because it's a very, very beautiful city, and you can just walk around day after day and you can always discover something new. So if you love buildings, you should go there. Győr is a very different from all of these cities. It is famous not because it would be a nice city or it is a very famous city. No. It is an interesting city because people don't actually work there. People in Győr and the surrounding area go to work to Austria, which seems perhaps strange, but in Austria you can earn way more than actually in Hungary. So it is only logical. But it's interesting to see how the Austrian philosophy and products can influence a city which is practically Hungarian. So these are the cities you really should go to if you want to come to Hungary and see how things are. And now to Australia. Australia is a very, very big island. You probably already know this. It has 7 sort of areas, as you can see. It has a very nice flag. It is part of the English Commonwealth, if I say that right. So basically the Queen is the leader of the country, but they have a very nice government. And now I just would like to read a nice letter to you. So, Australia has 3 levels of government. a federal or Austrian government, a state government, and a local government. They have lots of political parties. Labour Party, Liberal Party, National Party, Australia, First Party, the Greens, One Nation, and the Independents. The Liberal and the National parties are often referred to as the coalition. I don't know why, but it seems interesting. So, the federal government are in charge of big stuff like taxes, or if they go to war, etc. So, the federal government has 76 seats to form power, as this number gives them the majority in parliament, so probably it's 50% plus 1. So in the last election they had nobody who won majority, so what happened was that they created a sort of coalition between the Labour Party and the Green members of the parliament and the independents. So now they have a majority in the governments, which made people upset because, but this is what they actually do, and like in Hungary, Australians don't really like politics. So this one I can relate to. So far, when it comes to Australia, I can't really decide if they are actually way better than us or just in the same place as us. When it comes to GDP, they have almost twice as, twice the number as Hungary, but I don't know. I've got a mixed feeling about Australia. It certainly requires a lot more research. And now we're off to the 5-minute Hungarian. As I mentioned before, we go through one unit each session. This consists of a grammar review and, of course, exercises. In the first couple of units there will be only a few exercises, but after that things will go just out of hand. There are actually 134 units, about 134, so I believe we'll have fun. The book we're using is a practical Hungarian grammar. Now, I have this book, I bought it, and I suggest you, if you are seriously thinking about learning Hungarian, you should purchase the book. You can find it in Google, or you can write me a letter and I just direct you to somewhere. I think you might get the book. But it's a bit of complicated because I don't sell the books, so actually I have to find, because I bought it in an actual store. So if you want to order it online, it might require some tricks and tips from my part. So, of course, whoever learns Hungarian with me, we usually use this book, not as a base, but as a practice. So, if you watch these videos, you can have free practice. But of course, if you want to go a bit faster, then you can always purchase a lesson. Yay! Okay, but have fun. So vowel harmony is a terrifyingly important thing in a Hungarian language. Hungarian vowels can be divided into two groups, front and back vowels. I know we talked about this. I don't want to over-describe it or something like that. I just want to repeat them again because we need them in the exercises. So here are the back vowels. They all have a sort of low-pitched sound. O, A, O, U, U. If you want to remember most of them, you can always remember auto, which means car. Next, there are the front vowels. They are all the high-pitched sound vowels in the Hungarian language. E,
I, Ö, Ü, Ü. If you want to remember most of them, you can always remember the word tennisütő, which means tennis racket. Now the thing is that words can be divided into 3 types according to the vowels they contain. There are front types, back types, and mixed vowel words. It means that if a word sounds really, really high, then you can use one sort of an attachment for that. If it's really low, with all the back vowels, then you need a different kind of attachment. And if it's mixed, then you really have a problem. So let's get there little by little. Front vowel words contain only front vowels. Yeah, it's easy. Like 50, eszik, fehér, üveg. Back vowel words contain only back vowels. Asztal, 26, olvas, lassú. It's pretty easy. These things are very straightforward until we get to this. Some words contain both front and back vowels. They are mixed vowel words. These are mostly of foreign origin. Well, it's true, actually. Elephant, terrace. These are not based on the English language, but rather than Turkish, German, Finnish, and other things, because, quite frankly, these are the nations closest to us. And now, let's get on with the exercises. Remember all the vowels. A, I, U, Ö, Ü, A, Ö, U, O, Ä, Ü, E, I, O. Well, that was a pleasant exercise. Now, the question is, which of these are high and which of these are low? So, which are the front vowels, which are high, and which are the back vowels, the low ones? They helped us quite a bit with A. Now that was really helpful. Okay, how about that? What is E? E is definitely a high sound, so it's gonna be a front vowel. U. That's definitely low. Ö. Well, is quite high to me, as a native, of course. It's easy for me to do that. Ü, definitely high. A, well, definitely low. Ö, well, that's definitely high. U, that's low. O, that's also low. Ä, that is high. Ü, definitely very high. E, well, that's another high one, such as I, which is also high. And finally O, which is surprisingly low. And this was an exercise. Well, wasn't it really, really easy? Okay, remember, if you pause the video and try to solve it to yourself, then you can hear all the good solutions from me. 2. High, low, or mixed? Let's see. Játék. That's definitely mixed because of the A. Matematika. Oh, that's easy, that's mixed. A is low, A is high, so that's all chaotic there. Zongora. That is low. Iskola. Well, that's mixed. Remember, if you see any high or low-pitched sound, so a front vowel or a back vowel in a word, that's always mixed. Unlike soba, which is low. Sandwich, high. Chauffeur, well, that's mixed, because Ö is a front vowel and O is the back vowel. Bőrönd, high. Giraffe, that's mixed. Utas, definitely low, all those sounds. Kenyér, that is high. Villamos, low. Did you notice that I made a mistake? Yeah, I bet you did. Yes, because it is actually mixed. But it's easy to get mixed up, because if you don't notice the E in the word, then, you know. Moving on, Lajos, low. Ilona, that's mixed. Remember, we are doing these exercises because we need them. We need to know if it's low or high or mixed because of the endings. We wouldn't do these kind of exercises if it wasn't very, very necessary and you know, essential. Well, isn't that the final exercises for this very, very nice occasion? So, here is a picture, so you could be entertained a little bit more. And I will tell Hungarian words one by one, and just try to think of the object it represents. And after that, I will tell you if it's mixed, high or low, and of course the meaning. So here we go. Szótár. Where is the szótár? Well, it's definitely on the lower right shelf. It says A to Z, because it's a dictionary, and it's also an all back vowel word. Here we go again. Telefon. Telefon. Telephone is surprisingly on the desk on the right side, next to the pencils, behind the calendar or whatever it's called, near to the computer, because it's a telephone. I know it was an easy one, so let's move on. It's, by the way, a high-pitched sound, so it's definitely a front vowel word. Váza. Now they told us that it is a low version, but what is váza? Actually, váza is very, very similar to the English word vase, which is on the left side of that very fine-looking man. Nyomtató. Oh yeah, everybody loves nyomtató. Mostly because you can print stuff with it, because it's a printer, and also a low sound. Bögre. Bögre, bögre, bögre. This is not an official name of this object. Well, sort of. But it's definitely weird looking, and it sounds weird. It's on the left side of the desk next to the phone, because it's a mug. I have to tell you, first of all, this is a high sound, and second of all, it still sounds weird in English. So it doesn't matter language, it still sounds weird. Lampa. Lampa, well, lampa, 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 which brings light in the room because it's a lamp. It's also very similar to the English pear, so it's low. Naptár. Naptár, naptár, naptár. A naptár, so naptár is actually a calendar in English, and it's also a low. Kávé. Now, the thing is, everybody likes and knows what kávé means, because it's very similar to coffee. What are the similarities, you might ask? Well, it's just similar. Come on. So, it's mixed. Moppa. Oh yes, moppa. Everybody uses this one. Especially on a computer, you put files in it, because it's a folder. Moppa is low. Virág. Oh yes, virág. Virág, virág, virág. Well, it's definitely in the vase, in the background next to the man, so it's flower. It's not a plant. You have to remember that, because we have another Hungarian word for plant. Asztal. Oh, asztal. Asztal, asztal. Well, there are things on this thing, because it's a desk. Now, in Hungarian, a desk and a table is the same thing. It doesn't matter if you write on it, or if you study on it, or work on it. It's still an asztal, and it's low. Fiók. Fiók, fiók, fiók. Well, you can see 3 of these things under the desk, because it's a drawer. Yes, it is. Szemüveg. Oh yes. You're going to suffer with this word. Mostly because in English it's always a plural. It means glasses. They are next to the laptop. So, in Hungarian, like many things, it's not a plural, it's singular. And when we put it into plural form, it means 2 pairs of glasses. Ceruza. Oh yes, ceruza. Ceruza is a thing you can write with, but it's not a pen. It's a pencil. And it's next to the laptop, or a little bit behind. And there are several of this item. Papír. Oh, papír. Papír is what's in the printer, actually. Because it's paper. It also has a certain similarity to the English pair. And of course it's mixed. But by now, I think you're already got the hang of it. So it's not a surprise when I say if it's mixed or low or high. Füzet, which is definitely high. Füzet is a thing we can write in, or actually on if you open it. And to be honest, I can't find this on the desk and in the room. Maybe it is in front of the phone, if it qualifies as a sort of notepad. But füzet can be an exercise book and a notepad as well. It doesn't matter. Egér. Oh yes, egér. Like in English, the mouse can represent a mouse attached to the computer and a mouse living in, in the mouse hole and in the walls. And it's also, here in the picture, it's attached to the computer. Könyv. Könyv. Könyv is something you read, because it's a book, and it's also a front vowel word. Ajtó. That's definitely low. Ajtó is what this guy in this picture uses. That's a fine-looking mate, actually. It's a little bit overweight, but who knows? It could be healthy in some countries. Anyway, ajtó is the door. Számítógép. Számítógép is a really, really long word. Actually, it means a very, very little and short one in English. It's the PC or laptop, Macintosh or whatever. It's all számítógép to us. Okay, then. The last one is ablak. Ablak is what you can use if you want to see the sunlight or you want to look at people in the street, because it is a window. And it's definitely low. So, these are all the words, these are all the exercises we've done today, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it very much, because this is what the suffering we will do in the next 100 and something lessons. So, by the way, if you have any request, then please just say it like always. And that is it.
So this is the end of today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you will join us next time, and I hope that this thing over there in this office and stuff will improve a lot by the time we arrive to the 10th lesson or even to the 100th lesson. Thank you very much for watching again, and have a nice day.